Welcome to Cybird demo. This video covers introduction about Cybird and a full product demo. Cybird is a network security platform built to protect small businesses with 5 to 25 users, using its smart router and a cloud platform to secure every connected device. Cybird is built for small businesses like chartered accountant, legal firms, digital agencies, stock brokers, and many more, where customers' data, financial transactions, and business continuity is critical. Cybird helps MSPs and IT services companies deliver best-in-class security and reliable business Wi-Fi to their small business clients through a low-touch, a scalable platform that is easy to manage and create a recurring revenue for them. Yes, the solutions today are varied. There are enterprise solutions which are more complex, heavy licensing, and you need a IT solutions department, IT team for that. Whereas a lot of small businesses fall back to a home grade router where there is zero security, zero visibility, and zero controls. And Cybert fits in perfectly for this, where a simple solution and with a enterprise grade solution behind the scene is provided for a small business owners. Let's see. So we bring in four key solutions, key differentiating features to the small business owners. The core of Cybird is all about cyber security, protecting multi-layered security in terms of blocking malicious sites, virus, botnets, and a advanced firewall. That's the core of Cybird. The next is all about business Wi-Fi, which is covering the entire office with a best-in-class Wi-Fi per employee, specific username and password. So there is no shared password and you know who is connected to the network. We also ensure your meeting calls, Zoom calls, and Google Meet calls are prioritized. The next is all about productivity, so block unwanted time wasting adult content as well. And then you get a visibility of what is really happening in your office network. Coming back to the first benefit, yes, all the security aspects, multi-layer aspects of security are taken care in Cybird, protecting against phishing, malware, multiple viruses, and everything. And all this is auto-updated through our cloud infrastructure. The second benefit is all about improving your Wi-Fi experience. No shared passwords anymore. Every employee has their own Wi-Fi username and password. Improved business meetings. There are no more Zoom meetings buffering. All that is the advantage of business Wi-Fi that we bring in. Next is all about ensuring your office environment is productive. No time wasting sites are been available or accessed through your network. So you can easily block all unwanted apps. And then we give you visibility, what's really happening in the network, the bandwidth usage and more. So before Cybird, you will see that your internet connection was getting dropped. Phishing links are slipping through. You don't know what's happening on your network, and after that you get to see that your network is more smoother, phishing link is blocked, you know what devices are there on your network or who is consuming the bandwidth, all with a simple a dashboard and a weekly report that you see. Next is all about complex and costly solution is avoided with a much simpler and affordable cyber solution that we promote to the small businesses. And all of this with a single subscription for our cloud benefit that we bring in, all included in just one single subscription, which you pay annually. Compared to home routers, yes, there is zero security that is provided. The enterprise stacks provide a lot of security, but it comes with complexity and cost. And whereas Cyber provides everything with a much simpler solution and affordable subscription. This is all built for small businesses from Cyber today. We are trying to set a new standards in small business network. Now let's jump to the actual product to see how it is working. So let's first check how you connect your routers to your account. So first you need to create your account on my.cyber.in or log into your account provided by your IT administrator. You can then get started looking at this start point. This is the place to start onboarding the router. You will see some 1 to 3 steps to connect your router. Okay, now let's get your router registered to your account. So once you power it on, connect your router to the ISP line, you will see a network called as Cybird setup under some numbers. You can then connect to that using its web console 192.168.2.1 with a default username, root, and password as admin. Once you log into that, you need to register the router. So navigate to Cybird router registration page. Here it is the same email address that you have registered your account on Cybird, and we need to use the pin that is provided on your dashboard. So that's the pin. Copy that or remember it and type it here on the router page. Provide a short description to it so you know which router it is and where you have installed it. Hit the register button, and now this router will be registered against your account. You can manage this router remotely moving forward. So once the router is registered, you will also be able to see an email that is received from Cybird with all the login details, the Wi-Fi password details, and you can then go back to the dashboard of Cybird, do a refresh, and you will be able to see the same router that you registered being online here. Can start managing this router through this online dashboard, and you never need to go now then to 192.168.2.1 to manage this router. You can see all the details about this router: download, upload, WAN links, the devices connected, the name of the Wi-Fi. You can start changing the Wi-Fi name and the password as per your expectations. uh, there are three SSIDs. One is for the shared password for entire office to connect, the employee specific Wi-Fi, and the third one is a guest one. I'm changing the Wi-Fi password for the guest as well here, and that is instantaneously applies to the router. You can also change the password for this router to log in so that it is not the default password anymore. In case if you want to reboot the router remotely, you can do that. If you want to see what is the firmware or push an update, you can also see. And this is a place where you will start seeing the router health check. You can always go back to Wi-Fi routers and start managing the routers from here. So if your office is bigger enough, you can always connect more Wi-Fi routers from Cybird to act as a mesh network. So Cybird provides a best-in-class mesh network, and it coordinates all the connected Wi-Fi routers automatically. So this is the main router that is acting and connecting to the ISP network. And here is the place where you can actually see how the detailed health check is, which you generally don't need to visit this. But in case if you want to see the CPU, RAM, and other parameters, you can always come back to this particular screen. Going back, yes, one more step here. Yes, these two are my satellite nodes in my office. You can see they are actually being used. I have placed it in such a location that I get best internet connectivity across my office. Okay, now let's get to the core of Cyberd, that is profiles and policies. So this is the place to define what can be accessed and what can be denied. So each individual profile is for an employee or a group of employees. So here Mangesh Hamre is an employee, and the default admin profile is created by default, and that's where what can be accessed and how Mangesh can connect is defined by this. The next is all about office Wi-Fi. So there are three SSIDs given to the router. The one is for shared key, and anybody connecting to that is all about office Wi-Fi. So the policies are defined here by default. What can be accessed. So this is how you see the internet activity, what is going on, the domains, anything blocked, what are the devices connected to your main office SSID are listed here. And here is the core about the policies. So security is on, so where phishing malware settings are on by default, and anything that is getting blocked. So privacy is all about blocking ads and trackers. So these settings are on by default to provide best security to start with. Then if it is a home setup, you can always enable additional parental controls. Uh, yeah. And then in your office setup, you want to say block adult content by default. You can just toggle it on. Additional categories are there that can also be blocked in case if you want to block social media. If you want to go granular, you can always say select the apps that you want to block. All these apps are allowed by default. Here I'm blocking Instagram and say Tinder here. for anybody connecting to the office Wi-Fi. And this is a way to disable in case if you want to allow everybody to connect. Allowed and blocked list are standard whitelist and blacklist, and that is the core policy of Cybird. And once that is done, you will be able to start seeing what's going on in your office, what applications are there, what devices are connected, and anything that is getting blocked will be listed here. So that's the office policy. When you want to provide guest connectivity through the Wi-Fi, yes, we have a third SSID for guest, and the controls are done by using guest profiles. So anybody connecting to the guest Wi-Fi, this particular policy will be applied. Here you see it looks like any other policy and profiles. So all the connectivity details are provided here. The actual policy can be set here, the security controls, what apps can be accessed. We by default block adult content on this, but you can always redefine anything. This is a place where you define what is the bandwidth used by guest so that it doesn't impact your main office network. This is simple toggle button and it applies instantly. And then you can see the devices connected, anything that is blocked for guest. To protect smarter IoT devices in your office, like printers, security cameras, smart TVs, we have IoT protection. So you can move the devices to IoT devices here once they are connected to the main SSID, and then all the policies specific to IoT can be applied. Again, all the security privacies are on. Additional web categories are also blocked for all the IoT devices, and you can see what's happening on the IoT devices by grouping them in this profile. For employees, there are two ways to create profiles. We'll see the manual profile creation first. So if you want to create a profile for John, so we can just click here, enter John's name, and that's it. We will be able to create a profile for John. Here is the profile for John. We can then see what John is doing once he connects to a particular Wi-Fi with a given username and a password. We can share these details with John using a shared link that John can review his own password and username. The policies are again applied by default for John to connect. In case if you want to set up some specific policies to block, say, Instagram, we can toggle this on and it is instantly applied. So all the devices that are connected to John will apply the same policies. We can go back anytime later to see if you want to modify policies for John. Come back to this in case if you want to say block a new app. So you can again go back and say, okay, I want to block say Tinder. Do that. Okay, now let's consider if John is no longer working for your company. You can always suspend access for John. So you can open his profile and then say suspend. No need to change any Wi-Fi name or password. That particular username for John will not work and no device will be able to connect. You can always go back and enable if required, or if John is permanently not working for your company, you can always delete the profile, and with that username and password nobody will be able to connect. Now let's see how we can automatically create a user profile by inviting your employees. You click on this, you get an email with a link that you can now forward to your employees. Uh, Using this link, employees will be able to create their own profiles. So if you forward this to John, John will enter his email address here, validate that yes, he is getting a token. So that way we are, even the link has been passed to somebody else, they will not be able to create the account. Only employees will be able to create the account. So here John got a validation email, token verifies it. Now John is creating his new profile, say John Smith here, full name, whatever password he is comfortable with, which is a secure one, and that's it. So now John will be able to connect to the employee specific SSID with the email address and password that he has entered. For you as admin, you will be able to see there is a new profile created for John. And the way similar way, other employees will be also able to create and onboard their own profiles. Here, yeah, you can see John's email address and the password is hidden. That is the password that John has entered. All the same standard policies are also applied for John now. Now let's check out connected devices and security posture. You can navigate to connected devices dashboard, see the list of connected devices in your network, the type of that, and the security posture of each and every device. If there is antivirus, firewall, password managers, VPNs installed, so you can better protect each and every device. We can also see devices per belongs to each and every employee or IoT profiles here. So you exactly know whose devices are connected, and there are no longer kind of unknown devices connected that you are unaware of. The next section is all about cyber insights that we capture sitting on the network. So you can always go to the insights dashboard to see what is really happening on an overall network. The number of sites visited, anything blocked, devices insights, how many devices connected, how many devices have antivirus installed on it. So the security posture is known, what kind of a high level activity is happening at your office, who possibly is using extensive bandwidth. You can get to see that. Then is more executive report, we can say, that can be shared with your management on a 7-day basis. So this is a report where we show really what's happening at a higher level still. The number of locations it is installed, how good is the internet present on your network, what is internet usage looks like, what is the bandwidth consumed for last 7 days, how healthy are the routers, what are the devices, what type of devices are connected, any uh, any top applications in your office, is it social media or work related applications, you get to see. And you can always download this report and share with somebody. The next section is all about app priority. The calls, video calls that never should be buffered. So we ensure those calls are taken as the highest priority and that is given a priority. So you can see here WhatsApp calls or audio video calls are prioritized. This is all enabled by default on Cybird routers. You can see Zoom calls, everything is as a top priority. The second priority is always the entertainment category, and the results actually what is prioritized is shown on the top of it. Next, we are going to look at the firewall part of it. So if a really good dynamic firewall runs on the router and configured by default to prevent anything that is coming in, outgoing, which is risky for the company, you can see all different categories that we detect and block. This is all about cyber protection at a high level. This is firewall specific configuration, again on by default, different categories, incoming, outgoing, Tor connections, forcing devices to use the cyber network, and all different granular settings in case if you want to enable or disable. You can also see for advanced in case you want to block something specific port like FTP, SSH, you can always enable it. So all that outgoing connections can be also taken care. Yeah, in case if you want to prevent VPN or kind of a proxy sites, yes, you can always do that at a firewall level, not at an individual level. And all of this is readily available. You can see the statistics as it goes. Next, we are going to see remote access VPN for employees working from home. You want to provide a secure access so that they can connect to internal office devices. The setup is pretty easy, one-time setup, 4 simple steps. Select the router that you want to act as a VPN server. So people will be able to connect to that, enabling the access of VPN server on that router, ensuring you have a public or static IP that we can connect. So that is a critical requirement here. And then once that is done, you can go ahead and invite your employees. Let's invite John so that he can remotely connect from home. So going to John's profile, navigating to remote access tab, you can now send a invite email to John. That's email address for John that will be configured for laptop, and that's it. So we send the instructions which include how do we set up a WireGuard and import a wildcard configurations. So let's see the email that we got, that John got. So John will open this email with a link on it. We are providing steps to configure VPN based on whatever laptop or device he has. He will install it and then download a one-time VPN configuration. This is very specific to John, and that's it. And then once he imports that particular profile, he will be able to connect to the Office profile and Office network from anywhere in the world much more securely. And you will be here able to see that he has downloaded it and configured that particular VPN configurations. In case if you want to pause VPN access for John, you can always do that here, or revert it anytime so that he can access it back. In case if you want to completely revoke that access for John, you can always remove this particular settings so that John will never be able to access VPN and connect to the Office network. Next, you want to check if you're securely connected and protected with Cybird. You can always go back to the dashboard, open mydnstest.com and run a quick test. You will be able to see if it is a green shield that indicates you are connected and securely protected by Cybird. Our Cybird X2 router is a high performance router for small businesses with multi-WAN, Wi-Fi 6 and mesh support for wider coverage. Contact info@cybird.net, especially if you are an IT services company in India looking to deploy Cybird. Thank you.